All right, so I'm about to change the brake line in the front. All right, so I got my front brake line here, and the old rubber line. Obviously, it's actually like a two section rubber. There's one up over this side. This is a hard line, and the rubber over here on this side. So there's two mounting spots. There's one right here with that. There's actually a mounting bracket, and this one right here as well. So the aftermarket one, you know, it's just like that. That end right there, and in the middle, there's a little spot where, you know, this is, and the end that fits on the caliper itself. So I'm gonna do that. What I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna loosen the mounting brackets first. Then I will loosen the line itself. So I think these ones looks like 12 millimeters from what I could tell. Let's see. Yep, 12 and 12. Oops. Just bump the camera there. Oops. That's right. Just the camera's right in my way. Right where my elbow wants to be. Oh, I think I bumped the camera again. Anyways, the camera's right where my elbow should be. Okay, that's loose. That's loose. So the ND Miata has a lot of aluminum. It's not just the body panels, you know, all the suspension parts here, the upper A-arm, lower A-arms, it's all aluminum. So that's pretty cool. That's part of the gram strategy, keeping the car as light as possible. And this right here is even more critical because it's, you know, it's moving. So it's, you know, it's basically you know, as you know, moving parts, the lighter they are, the better it would be, the quicker reaction they'll have. So it slides out. This one just pops right out like so. I see a what is that? That looks like a spider web nest or a spider's nest. So let's see on the bottom as well. Let's see, the bottom banjo bolt is also a 12. Oh Jesus, that's tight, man. That ain't no factory spec tightness there. It's obviously from the factory, but I think they're using tighter torque than what they specify. That was like really hard. Let's see, this one here. So before earlier you saw me take a toothbrush and brush this area here because the threads tend to have grit on them. So I like to get that all off, so I don't want that to contaminate the line any possible way. Oops. I need to clamp that down. Let me stick this screw back in just real quick, just to hold it in place. Just to hold it in place. So this, oh Jesus, man, that's tight. Oh Jesus, can't even budge it. Jesus, wow, that's tight. Woo, oh my God. Oh, my shoulder just cramped. Man, that was tight. So lucky I have the flare nut wrench. Do not try this with an open end wrench or an adjustable wrench. You will strip this. That was way tight. You need a flare nut. Use the right tools. Okay. Wow, that was ultra tight right there. Man, my shoulder and neck just cramped from doing that. Okay, now fluid's dripping everywhere now. Let me get this off. That's off. Alright, so I could take this line off now. Let's see. Let's get the bottom one first. Bottom one's already been, there it is. So unfortunately you guys can't see the bottom. Let me see if I can move the camera down. Let's see, right there. So the bottom one will have the bungee bolt right there. There's going to be 2 sealing washers, one on each side of the line. So you see the outside right here and the inside. There should be a sealing washer as well. Alright. So take that out. So the bungee bolt, excuse me, the sealing washer is actually still on the caliper. So make sure I remove that. Got all that out. And my hand's covered in brake fluid. So be mindful where you have, where you get brake fluid. Brake fluid is it's kind of corrosive. It'll eat paint. So it'll eat paint. So if you have brake fluid on some painted surface, make sure you wash that spot. Otherwise, you come back in several weeks or several months later, or maybe when you gotta change your pads or your tires or whatever, all of a sudden you're like, wait, what the heck? What happened there? Why did the paint all peeled away and such? That's because the brake fluid ate into it and it stripped the paint. So this is a hard line here, so it's not gonna move much. So it's kind of sitting right there where the mounting bracket is. So I'm gonna try to wipe it as clean as possible. Right. Okay. Wipe off all the grit and dirt and stuff. Okay, that's all wiped out. I still see a little bit of grit on the threads right there. So I'm gonna take my toothbrush here and start just to hopefully clean off that grit. You don't want to have any of that dirtiness on your threads. So my car is still relatively new, so I'm not too concerned about dirtiness. It's just a little bit here and there. But if you have a car that's older or been through the winter season, it's a good idea to have that have it cleaned up. Here's to keep it in place. So let's move around. I don't need to tighten nothing yet. I'm just gonna hold it there to keep it in place. So make sure that my line here, you should be able to spin it pretty freely. You can't spin it by hand down until it bottoms out. That means it's not it's neither cross threaded or the angle's a little bit off. Make sure you have it nice and straight in. So that way, how it works, how this fitting right here works is that there's a male side and a female side, and they come together. It's, both side. The hard line is flared at the end, and it's kind of like a mushroom. And this side, it also has so the line side has like a male mushroom, and this side has a female side, so they kind of fit together like so. as you tighten it up, they squeeze together and they form a seal. So if you put them together and they're kind of cockeyed a little bit, they won't mate properly and it'll leak. So make sure that they're actually fitting in there nice and straight with each other, flush with each other, flat with each other. So that's just by finger only. Now I'm gonna do the up here. I'm gonna put this up right here like so, and the brake fluid's dripping out everywhere. Put it like so. All right. It ain't easy having the camera right in the right where my hand's supposed or my arm's supposed to be. So I'm all hyper extending my elbow. Let's see if you guys can see this. I'm not sure you guys can see that or not. Anyways, brake fluid's dripping out, which is fine, that's normal. Just dripping out from the top. And my brake fluid on my reservoir should have been topped off. You top it off so that way when it's dripping out it doesn't introduce air into the system. Otherwise you're gonna have to rebeat the brake all over again, starting from zero, from the back. You do not want to do that. Alright, so I've got my new banjo bolt here. New sealing washers. Always use new sealing washers. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems with leaks. Alright, banjo bolts in there. Now we should get this thing to where it's supposed to be, which is right there. Like so. Jeez, brake fluid's everywhere. Screw it all the way in by hand first. Screw it in by hand. Make sure that this fitting here is not, cockeyed either. Otherwise, you might not seat properly when you tighten it. Got brake fluid all over my hands there. The brake fluid is a funny, it feels kind of weird, it's kind of slightly oily sort of, but it's not really quite a oil, at least not in, not like a motor oil or something like that, but it's a little bit different. Alright, so that's in there. So that looks interesting. It's interesting how it has this bend in the elbow here, whereas the factory one, if you look at it, it's actually like so. It actually bends in. Well, when am I supposed to bend it in? Maybe I have it in the wrong direction. Well, I think I'm supposed to bend it in. You can see that? So the factory one's like so, and it bends into the caliper. So I think I actually have it in the wrong direction. So let me loosen this. So remember, I just tighten it up by hand only. So loosen up by hand. I kind of had a hard time because this thing was kind of, the line was pushing this way, so it wasn't. So it's basically the joint there was kind of had like a lateral load on it, side load on it. So that's the sealing washer. I don't want to mix the old one with the new one. Okay, so if it's like so, let's see, I'm gonna figure out how to bend this thing. Not bend it, but get it so that it's supposed to fit properly. Okay, let me get this off. Let's see. So I'm gonna twist this a little bit here. That way I can give my, I don't want to fight the, no, that's not right either. It's hitting the caliper. If I do that, if I bend it in like this, it's gonna hit the caliper. So there's no way it has clearance that way. So that's not right. Obviously it's not gonna hang down like so. It has to be pointing up, not down. So that's not right. Man, brake fluid's everywhere. Everything's all wet. Okay. So, like so. Oops. Grab this thing a little bit more. Oops. Wrong direction. It's supposed to be this direction. So, okay, like that. So I guess it is like this then. It's kind of odd angle. Has too much angle, I think. I think it has too much angle. That's weird. I think this thing has too much angle. They should have made it so the way it goes straight instead of having a little bend right there. I think it'd be better with it being straight. Okay. Yeah, got brake fluid everywhere. So how I wash brake fluid off is I just use fresh water, clean fresh water. I just kind of spray at it or pour it over. You know, I take like a little cup of oil or whatever, and I just pour it over. And usually that's usually good. So, man, that's not right. This shouldn't be that much slack there. This shouldn't be tight like this. That's just weird. It's a little bit too weird there. That fitting is too weird. It's like this, possibly, where the line comes out instead of in. Let's see. Let's bring this back. So you guys can see better. See what I'm struggling with here. So I have to mount right up here. All right. You see how the lines are kind of goofy, kind of. I don't like this part of the line right here where it's like that. They should have made it straight up instead of having the way it goes straight up and it just arcs over one radius instead of having one radius here and another radius here. It's kind of weird there. Oops. Keep on knocking up the camera. So I bring the line over here too much. That's way too weird right there. If I bring it over that way, seems like it's a little better, but you need some slack though right here when the suspension moves. This right here can't be tight, you know. It needs to have a little bit of stock so that way it moves. It's able to move. So this thing can't be angled in, could it? Angling it in towards the A-arm, right here towards the A-arm, or angling it out makes it worse. It has too much bend when it angles out. It has to, this radius down here going like this, then this radius over here going like that. There's two bends there. But if if I angle it towards the inside, towards the A-arm, it only has one radius, so that's the more proper way of doing it, I think. Having one radius and not two. 2 years did not seem right. Yeah. But it also depends on the suspension travel, how it moves. The suspension travel moves, and you know, because the line's gonna move along with it. Oops! I go knocking the camera again. So let me see, as the suspension travels, the A-arm goes up. It goes up. There shouldn't be too much movement there, I don't think. Seems to be okay, I think. Yeah, I think it'll be okay, like this. It's better like this. Man, there's a lot of brake fluid everywhere. Wipe this stuff off. Brake fluid is slippery. Definitely not, you know. That's why I mentioned it's kind of similar to oil almost, because it's a certain slipperiness to it. So after this, I need to like hose all this down. You know, I want to hose off all the brake fluid because it, you know, it's potentially could be corrosive. It has to be like this, so that way the line's straighter. If I put it up this way, the line right here gets crossed like this. If it crosses like that, you won't be able to move at all through here. You don't necessarily, don't know if you actually even want it to move through there, but you know, that's just consideration. And it's as straight as it goes. And I could do like this. But I have to watch out if I go in too far, like so. This potentially could hit, you know, hit the suspension parts. Because it can't go all the way like that. That's not right. It's way too close to the suspension parts. Way too close. So probably like this is good, I think. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good right there. Alright, I'm gonna stop the video for now. It's going over 20 minutes. I'll do a second part.